As a church leader, your time and resources are limited. It's difficult to find discipleship and Bible study materials that are affordable, easily accessible, and high quality. But there is a way to equip the people in your church every day of the week without losing sleep. Welcome to Right Now Media, the world's largest library of video-driven Bible study resources, used by more than 20,000 churches, schools, and organizations. With a Right Now Media subscription, everyone in your church can access thousands of biblical resources for kids, couples, small groups, and more. Give your members access to great content, anytime, anywhere, on any device.
And God specifically says, the way you think, that's not the same way I think.
Equip and inspire everyone in your church beyond Sunday.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Great to be with you once again. Always a pleasure having you right here in Solomon's Temple. My name is Solomon Izangi Shams, and I do hope you're having a great day wherever you are. Thank you for always being here. Thank you for watching the so many hundreds of videos that are there for you. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for your prayers, for your support. Some of you guys support this platform financially. And I just want to say thank you so much. Really appreciate each and every one of you guys who's been giving because you believe in truth. You know, this platform is not about exposing false prophets or charlatans or scandals. No, this is about the truth. It's about bringing out the truth and putting the truth out there. That's what is important. All right. So I want to welcome everyone who is here. Thank you, Zoe. Awesome to have you here. Thank you so much, my sister, Lucia. Thank you so much. Good to have you here. What part of the world are you, Lucia? You're saying good morning, but this is afternoon here. It's past 4 p.m. It's 4:25 p.m. here in Johannesburg. I'm sure you're in a totally different part of the world. Tabitha from the Big Apple, New York City. Thank you so much. Roger. Also, Alicia from Florida. Great to have you here. Malebu, as usual, you are here. Appreciate you, Chantal. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. All the way from Jamaica. Andreanne, Mike from Toronto in Canada. Thank you so much. Sakani, Malume. Thank you so much. And really appreciate each and every one of you. Lock the door. Oh, wow. Lock the door. Sorry, my kids. Can you pull the door, it say? Pull the door. My kids were out. They just came in now. Irene, pull the door for me, please. Good. Thank you. All right. Thank you so much. Your first time commenting here. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, DJ Smoot. Callista. Great to have you here. Okazi from East Strasbourg. Where is that? Is that in France? Simanga from the UK. Thank you. Thank you, Jota. Thank you, Lucia. Oh, you're from Charlotte, North Carolina. Awesome. Ruth from Jamaica. Vuyani from Bloemfontein. Awesome. I'm picking on a pastor, a prophet, so-called prophet from Bloemfontein. Thank you so much, Adolphin. Great to have you here, Siraga. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. So many comments here. Thank you so much. Niagara Falls, Imani, from Niagara Falls. Wow, that's up Canada. Very lovely place, isn't it? So it has become almost a norm now that I normally share with Pain some of the atrocities and the way some so-called men of God, pastors, prophets, apostles conduct themselves. You know, when you conduct yourself in an immoral way, fact is, you are being selfish, you're being deceitful, and you're being hypocritical. Because you are a leader, and you've been given a responsibility, and you're using your title, you're abusing your title, you're abusing the office that God called you, or maybe probably it didn't even call you. You just called yourself into it so you can benefit from it financially and otherwise. It's sad when we hear that. And we must not look at prophets or pastors and think that they're perfect, or they cannot go wrong, or even when they do go wrong, we have to cover them up and just try to shield them. The more you shield sin, the more sins destroys the people in that location, that geographical location where the sin was conducted. So there's no time to shield sin. And when I say we shouldn't shield sin, I'm not saying you should just go out and expose it. I'm just saying that when there is unrepentant, you have to bring it up. Even if you don't bring it up publicly, you can bring it up privately with the people involved. That is very important. And we need to realize that. We don't celebrate when we hear prophets, who are actually really called by God. We don't celebrate when we hear them, when we see them, rather, when we see them fall. That is those that are really called by God, not all the ones. There are so many of them that are actually not really called of God. So it's indeed sad. And I got a message from a young girl who is, I think, basically around 23, 24, in a city called Bloemfontein, which is about 2 hours from Johannesburg here in South Africa. And she shared her ordeal with me, and I want to share that. I recorded our conversation, and obviously I told her I was going to share it as usual, and I got her consent. And because people would learn from it, just so we would also know the truth, I sent a message to the prophet involved. Didn't hear from him, but this is a prophet who wanted to have a child with this young lady, deceived her into it, whilst he was paying his bride price, his lobola, to another girl, and now got married to the other girl, and this girl got pregnant for him but lost the baby, and his wife also got pregnant, but because he used to use his hand on her, she lost the baby. It's just very twisted, but I would let you to hear this from her, just so you can hear it yourself from her. So here is the conversation that I had with her, sharing her story about this pastor, so-called pastor, who is called Prophet. He calls himself, this is the accused, he calls himself Prophet Fortune Jedidah. If you're in Bloemfontein, probably you know him, or if you're across around South Africa, probably know him. Now if you look at him very well, he's a, young pastor, young prophet. There are quite a lot of young prophets across the African continent, like him, who are just using the platform of being a prophet to just have a good time, right? And it is really unfortunate. It is really unfortunate that we are seeing more and more of such prophets and of such pastors across. So here's my conversation that I have with her, and I want us to listen, and I want us to also listen carefully and also learn from it in this conversation.
Oh,
Hi.
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Is that Tandy, right?
Yes, it is.
How are you?
I'm okay. I'm just mad.
I can feel that.
Hmm.
So you are based in Bloemfontein?
Yes, I'm based in Bloemfontein. He texted me on Facebook. This account.
Sorry about that, guys.
This and we were being nice.
Fontaine.
Yes, I'm based in Bloemfontein.
How did you meet this pastor? What was your relationship with him?
He texted me on Facebook. This account I just created it so I can contact you with it.
Okay.
But he contacted me on Facebook, and already he was, I think that was 2016. He was already heading for lobola negotiations with the wife.
With the wife.
Yes. So when he came to me and said to me he wants a child, but the wife is not ready. By then the wife, they were not even engaged yet. It was still the introductions of the family trying to proceed with the lobola negotiations. And then he told me that the wife was not ready or didn't want to. So he was being nice, bought flowers, and we would go to where he stays. Back then he used to stay in a bachelor flat. That was 2016.
So hold on. So he wasn't married yet, and he's a pastor.
He wasn't.
But he wanted a child before he got married.
Yes.
And his wife was not ready for that. I mean, she didn't want to have sex, so he came to you. He inboxed you.
Yes. But
Okay.
it's as though it was just a strategy with me, because it's not like he hasn't said anything about a baby to the wife.
Yes, I get you.
Yes. And then we carried, and then I ended up having a miscarriage, and then, but he was not moved by it, of which it's still a concern to me as to why would a person want a baby.
So you got into a relationship, and then he now got you pregnant.
Yes.
Okay, when was
so
that?
He would, it was in 2016.
Okay.
Yes. So he would come, pick me up at home, take me to his place, sleep with me, and he would spoil me for the longest of time. And then he engaged the wife. Now the lobola was finalized. I think they got married a few months after, but we still kept contact. From time to time we would talk, and I would still see him. We would still sleep together, because he just made me think that the wife is just good for the image, but I am the one who really understands him. And if things did not turn out the way that it turned out, he would have married me.
So he was married, but he still maintained the relationship with you as his side chick, as his girlfriend.
Yes, he would disappear for a while, then come back. He would disappear for a while, then come back. That's how it has been going on. And now when we rekindled the relationship was after I had heard the wife is pregnant, and apparently the wife had left him after he beat her up when she was pregnant. She left and went to her family, and she went to Durban. Her family stays in Bloemfontein, but she had gone to Durban to her aunt apparently. So then when I went there at their marital house, he would come pick me up wherever I was, sleep with me, whether I'm on my periods or not. That's what would normally happen. And I feel like my life has gone downhill after I met him, because now I drink, and of which it's not something that I was used to. And all the prophecies I received, they say I had connected myself with a person who's not good. So yeah, my life has just gone downhill afterwards. And now what's worse is when I was in one of the clubs, he would come fetch me and take me to his place. This one time, I told him I wanted to get taxi. He went to buy me some wine. We drank together. We slept together. And in one of the clubs where I was, I learned of another girl that was in the same relationship with him. So I only discovered that I'm not the only one. So he's been.
What other things did you guys do together? He drinks?
The last time I was with him, they said he was going to call back and all of that, and now he's disappeared, and now I heard that this is the new girl again that's into the picture. So yeah, he's just going on and on and on. And immediately he would want your attention. He would tell you about how the wife is so unreasonable and all of that, and now he's a single man. He's no longer married, but there's no way their divorce has been finalized.
So they're not divorced, but his wife, he was abusing his wife and she left, and he was bringing you to their house and sleeping and having sex in their bed.
Yes.
When was the last time that happened? When was the last time that happened?
Happened around June. That's when the last time I had contact with him. It was July. Early to mid.
Okay.
Yes.
And you've been to his church. Have you been to his church?
Yes, I have been to his church, but I was not a member then. But I have been to the church.
Have you met his wife?
Yes, I know the wife. And the funny thing is I grew close to the wife. We used to stay in the same street with the wife. So the wife also knows me very well.
So why did you allow yourself to go into a relationship with a married man and to allow him to deceive you?
I really can't say no. Like, I don't understand myself. I don't know. When it comes to him, whenever he calls me, I really cannot resist him. I don't know. And here's the thing. He had painted a picture because, remember, we talked before he got married, like officially. He had painted a picture that he's not going to marry that girl and all of that. And he was also known at home. My mom knew him because he would come pick me up there. They knew him as the son-in-law. So he had painted all this picture that this is not going to proceed, only to find out that he's going ahead with marrying the wife. Yes.
Did he promise he was gonna marry you?
Yes, in some instances he was saying he's gonna marry me. And then I later learned that there were other girls that he was busy with during the time he was preparing for the wedding. That they approached the wife. The wife almost canceled the wedding and it continued. So it shows that he's been busy. So I thought all this time maybe he can't get over me or he loved me, but he had no choice, because he would also always praise this thing of saying, I have no choice, the church is forcing me and all of that with regards to the wife. So I always thought, had things gone his way, we would be together, not necessarily that he's a serial cheater, if I can put it that way.
But you know that if somebody is married, you know it's wrong to have a relationship or to even tolerate them until they are divorced.
I know it's wrong. And even now, when he contacted me while the wife, I think the wife had just given birth, I could not say no. But now what consoled me is, as I went to the house, I did not see the belonging of the wife or even of the child that they have. So I thought maybe it's official, they're no longer together. Now when we rekindle the relationship.
But you know that, do you agree that having sex before marriage is wrong?
Yes, I do agree.
So why did you keep going back over and over again?
I really don't know. I could not say no to him. And it's eating me up. I now have anxiety. I feel like I'm losing my mind. The relationship does not settle with me well at all.
What sort of a pastor? What sort of a prophet? He said he's a prophet. What sort of a prophet is he from your perspective?
I don't know. I really don't know, and I don't think I've put much thought into it, but I do wonder because it does not make sense. If a person is a true man of God, why would he continue with this lifestyle of his, of sleeping around, changing women? It's a concern to me.
You see the way that he dresses, it is clear that he's targeting women also. You know, I'm not against a man dressing really good looking or dressing very nice and clean, but there are men that the way that they dress is not just because they want to feel good about themselves, but it's because they want to attract the opposite sex. And for me, even when I see his photos, when I see his videos, I've seen his photos and his videos, it is very clear that he's a performer, that he's someone that is seeking for fame. You know, and you fell into that trap for 5 years.
It's true.
So why did you decide to reach out to me and share this now?
It's because now if it's not this girl, it's that other girl. If it's not this one, it's that other girl. I'm quite hurt. And now I also feel guilty with what I've done to the wife, knowing the type of person that she is and having to go through all of this and only to find out I'm not the only one. It's quite a pain that I have to admit.
Let me tell you the truth. You've never been the only one, and you will never be the only one. That's the truth about people like this. Best thing to do, count your losses, scale down, get your life together. How old are you now?
I'm 25.
25?
Yes.
So he started with you when you were 19. You were still a teenager then?
Yes.
How old is he?
He's 30, 21.
So it's better for you to get your life together now and move on.
Yes.
He's going to call you next week and you're going to pick the call and he's going to ask you to come around and he's going to lie to you and make promises, and then you will forget that we have had discussion. Forget that he has taken you through pain and go back there. Anyway, sorry about the abrupt.
It is clear that you got the gist of what had happened. We lost contact. Her phone just went off. There was a bit of what do you call it? She called me back later on, and we still spoke about it because I was trying to get her to a place where she realized that first and foremost, what she did from the beginning was wrong. So we're not just going to say he was wrong alone. She was also wrong for giving in to him, right? But he is a leader. He is a man. A man has a responsibility. If a man don't ask, women would not just come around and offer you. I mean, women do offer you sex now, but a man has to ask. But the man didn't force himself on you. You decided to give it to him. You were just hoping and hoping you're going to be the one. You're going to be the one. Yes, he made promises, met your parents, come into your home. Everybody knows him. He said he was going to get married to you. And then boom, you heard he paid for the other girl. So it was time for you to retreat and count your losses and move on. But now you continue. Obviously, she was a teenager, so made mistakes. No justification for the mistakes anyway, you know. But for you to even go into keep that relationship and keep going with this person, yeah, you were wrong in a lot of ways. And obviously we can go on him as a prophet. Why should you even do that as a prophet? You're clearly not a prophet. You're just a deceiver. For you to lure this girl, and then there's another girl, and then there's the way that you went around your wife. A lot of these young prophets, they target girls who are like teenagers, get girls who are very impressionable. They shower them with flowers, take them to nice places once or twice, and then boom, that's just it. I mean, he was sleeping with her while she was in a period. She got pregnant for him, lost the baby. So we have to, in as much as when you see two people coming together to fornicate or to have sex, both of them are wrong. Both of them are given to sin. But you see, when you claim to be a prophet or a pastor, there's a higher standard that you are accountable to. And you can see him. You know, he will dress nice and sharp. That's how they roll, these young prophets. That's how they roll now. You know, they dress like celebrities and like Bitcoin cryptocurrency traders and Forex traders. They cut their hair nicely. They wear real fine stuff, new clothes, and put on some perfume, nice shoes, and they're on. That's why she couldn't say no to him. Why couldn't you say no to him? So she herself needs a lot of help. She needs a lot of help. But we have to keep our eyes open, guys. If you're a prophet, young pastor, be careful. If you know you cannot handle it, step back or go look for help from older people. Ogochukwu says, higher standard indeed. That's what I'm talking about. She is wrong. Yes, of course she's wrong. We don't have to argue that, do we? Tabitha says, preying on young ladies and calling himself a pastor. Yeah, exactly what happened. Some of these women only expose sin when they stop getting their way, when they come out as a victim, not holding themselves accountable, but God does. Yeah, she's clearly a victim for me. We cannot say she's not a victim because she was taken advantage of by a prophet, right? A man of God. So she's a victim. But at the same time, it doesn't mean she isn't wrong. There's a lot of things that she did in that relationship that was wrong. Whether they expose the sin because they've lost the man or they're exposing the person because they've lost him, for me, that's not my issue. My issue is, was there sin or no sin? Simple. These prophets are sickening. God is not sleeping. It's not everyone that says, Lord, Lord, that is of God. Discernment is necessary. It's a necessity, rather. Devil, prophet, indeed. People should be careful where we enter. So we have to keep our eyes open, guys. Not just the young prophets, but prophets generally. Sin is sin, no matter who is involved in. It's as simple as that. If there's no sin, there's no sin. But there's sin, it doesn't matter who came first, who started this, who started that. Nah. Fact is, this is what you did. If you realize what you just did, Do you realize how you have destroyed the other person, or how you've destroyed both of you, or even your community, your family, your church? It's as simple as that. Renee says, people know better but choose to not do better. Uncle Solomon asked a key question. Why will you sleep with a married man? And she had no reasonable answer. Simple. So she's totally wrong, in and out. In and out of it. So guys, watch out for con men like this, masquerading as pastors and prophets. There are a lot of them. Some of them started well, but then they want to have fun and they totally detoured from following the path of righteousness. Some of them didn't even came in because they want to serve God or because God called them. No, they called themselves. That's why you see them living recklessly, taking advantage of women, doing anything, faking miracles, doing anything to just make money, charging people for prayer that doesn't work, and a whole lot of stuff. We cannot tolerate that. Okazi says the church is full of wolves and sheep. We should return to the Bible. Indeed. Laura says, because she did wrong does not excuse him. He abused his authority as a church leader. Indeed. And I hope people would see that and understand that. Thank you everyone for joining me. Please make sure you share this video. Make sure you also subscribe. I would really appreciate it if you can do that. May his blessings, his goodness and mercy follow you all the days of your life. Amen. I'll catch you again. Thank you and God bless.
Masinya Attorneys Incorporated, a boutique commercial and taxation law firm in Midrand, Johannesburg, South Africa. Strategic lawyers on point with more than 20 years of practice experience. We are professional, capable, and qualified.